Hi, this is Chakra Talk with Livy. This is Olivia Rose. I'm a yoga instructor and Reiki healer from California, and today we're talking about sound healing. Sound healing is a practice that uses sound vibrations to soothe and calm the self. Often, instruments are played or chanting is performed. Today, I'll have a very special guest, an amazing sound healer, Naseem Murakami, who now goes by the artist name AsiRiana Rasa. I've personally hosted events with her and have been blessed to experience her sound healing. I've seen her play different instruments that I'd love to learn more about, and I noticed the effects it had on my yoga students. So, how does it work? How can we perceive it? Well, we can begin by thinking about how we feel when we hear something harmonious versus something dissonant, and how the mood and sound of music can affect us emotionally. We may cry at a sad ballad, or become energized by an upbeat pop track. Simply put, sound healing affects us because we are vibrational beings. When teaching yoga, all cues and all music must be considered carefully. It's important to be trauma sensitive, and for me to know that some people will like music and some people will not like music. Some people will be triggered by sound, and others will be inspired, invigorated, or calmed by sound. Hi, we are here with AsiRiana Asa, a sound healer and my friend.
Thank you, Libby, for having me. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. So nice to be here.
It's very nice to see you, even just through the screen. First, just what got you started in the healing community?
Yes, it goes back about like 6 years ago. I discovered Reiki energy healing. So Reiki is originally from Japan, and I'm birthed in Japan. And I was like initially started my career as a music artist. So I'm always in that music scene and everything. And what happened was, during 9/11, and I also went through divorce, and like lots of trauma was happening associated with it. And I stepped out of the music industry. And when I moved to California, that's where my awakening journey started. And I discovered Reiki. And Reiki is all about, tapping into the source energy and then channeling that love, high vibrational energy. And we have the ability to heal ourselves through that, like just opening up ourselves to that energy, which is available to everyone. So I, start, working with that Reiki energy, and then I was able to release my trauma. I was able to overcome, a lot of different, mental blocks and emotional blocks and, different things. And then, long story short, that circled me back into sound healing, because I started opening up to the holistic healing, which was completely new to me at that time. I had a severe depression. I even had suicidal thoughts since I was late 20s. So it means there was some major distraction was going on in my energy field, associated with a childhood trauma and everything. So I was set up in that environment to go through a lot of trauma and crisis after crisis. And so I had to question myself, why all this thing is happening. So, when I moved to California, really opening up myself to discover about me, who I am, why I was going through this difficult hardship in my life. And so, I was desperate to learn, and then so when I discovered Reiki, it opened me up to also other healing modalities like yoga, breath work, and then I resonated so much with sound healing because I understand the language of music and sound. So it was so natural for me to go right in. And at the same time, I met this wonderful young lady who's my dear friend, Andrea Science. She's a singer too. I met her and then we hit it off. and we decided to start a sound bath together. Like we formed a little company, and then we start, doing sound bath weekly, in LA. And I started, also I was in OC, that's where I met you at the time. So, I started that sound bath and Reiki, circle every week.
That's so cool.
So that's how we got started. Yeah.
Sound healing was a big part of finding like my spiritual journey too over here, and experiencing yours was really amazing. I wanted to know what types of instruments and sounds are used, and like, do you have a favorite?
Oh my gosh, it's really difficult to say like what's the favorite instruments. I would say voice. I always love the sound of like human voice. It's really unique to us all. And the most powerful tool we have is our own voice. So if we use our voice, we can literally program all the distortion in ourselves and everything. So I would say the voice is my favorite over any instruments.
Other than voice, what types of instruments do you work with?
I use like a frame drums, shamanic, those Native American drums. I always resonated with that. It's like something that so connected to earth and kind of like resemble our heartbeats.
Yeah.
So it just gets you grounded right away. I also love the sound of didgeridoo. I'm still mastering. It's quite difficult to work with the didgeridoo, but didgeridoo came from Aboriginal, from Australia, indigenous culture, and it's so powerful, so powerful. It literally can align the chakra, and so people are using those instruments for like many centuries, and it's really powerful.
I really like the sound and like the vibration of a didgeridoo, and when you were playing the drum in our yoga event, I thought that was super cool. I loved that little Native American
Thank you.
drum.
And of course I always like, my favorite is Crystal singing bowl. It's just really powerful.
Just circling back to voice, do you think mantra is a part of this?
Yeah, mantra, it's definitely like the old ancient Sanskrit teachings, we call it bija mantra. It's a seed, literally seed, right? We're seeding, and these bija mantra speaks to our main 7 chakra. Our sound, our voice, it's so powerful. Literally, when you go back to like even the scripture, like the Bible says, the word was like, the beginning was the word, right? To me, word is a sound. It's a particle of vibrational frequency. Everything is constantly moving and expanding, and it's like an infinite thing, right? So when we speak something out in the world using our throat chakra, that's how we manifest our reality. That's how we create. That's how our imagination with the emotion, and it gives that sound, and it literally that goes out in the universe, and then it just starts the process of co-creation. So yes, it's the mantra. It's really powerful because I think it's really connected to that, like the core teaching of like how we speak things into reality. So everything has some kind of code embedded into it also, that if you go really deep into it, so the sound has its own imprints and frequency. So that's why it speaks to different things, different parts of the body.
The different like hertz of frequencies of music, I just got into listening to those, and I found that it makes a difference in my, like, immediately how I'm feeling and in my life. So I wanted to know if you listen to those different frequencies all the time, or for different purposes.
Totally. We're so fortunate to have access to all this different sound frequency. Fortunately, we have this knowledge, the wisdom passed down from our ancestors. And so, for example, solfeggio frequency is an old 6-tone scale-based sounds frequency. Most people associate with like a Gregorian chant. It's very common in like the old religious. It's something that's very natural to us, and all the old musical instruments and everything were based on those scales. Each frequency has different purpose. It could be like something that reduces pain, or certain things brings us more into oneness, in alignment with the source consciousness, or like spirituality, or something is just like help us to calm. So it's wonderful now, it's backed by science also, so we can listen to those frequency and really, really start to experience the profound shift.
Yeah, and I've noticed that, any kind of singing at all is therapeutic for sure. But there's something about that music versus popular music that just feels very soothing and has a cool vibration. How has sound healing changed your life?
Oh my gosh, majorly. So when I start doing sound bath every week, and of course, we had to rehearse, and also like basically I'm exposed to the higher sound frequency like daily basis. And even though like I was doing Reiki healing session, like I have to play the music in the background, and I would play high vibrational music, obviously, so I'm constantly exposed into that, and that have such a profound effect because it really changed my thought patterns. It really disrupt our negative thinking. So a lot of us are really addicted to fear, unfortunately. Right. Why? It's a brain chemistry thing. It feels like we're alive. It's like, you're going up and down the adrenal rush, and
we're hardwired for fear, for survival.
Yes, we are. That's why we feel it. And then so even though it's unpleasant for us, it feels like sense of feeling alive. So that's why people are addicted to those things. And so I certainly was that person, because that's all I knew. So what are you going to do if you're in that environment? And how you can heal yourself and know something is out there much better than going back into the old patterns. People try different things, law of attraction, whatnot, and sometimes it doesn't work because you're not changing the fundamental right here, our brain. It have to have change happen from our subconscious programming. When I was exposed to that on daily basis with higher sound frequency and vibration, it's kind of like, without me being aware of it, it's automatically rewriting what was embedded in my subconscious mind. It starts to cleanse. It starts to release those negative, disrupt the negative patterns and start to create a new neuron path.
We did our yoga hike together that I keep talking about. And yes. I just wanted to know, what was your favorite part of that?
Oh, that was so much fun. I wish we could do that still, but
I know.
Yeah, I think my favorite part is just really connecting with people, communities together. I think it's so beautiful. Like, we need that connection with each other. Like, we are wired for that. We were a social creature. And when we come together, we're not alone going through this healing journey. We're not alone, going through this. Like, everybody have some kind of problem. Everybody's facing different things in our lives. And so we have this sense of community that really kind of speed up the healing process, and just like having that togetherness like opens up our heart. Yeah. And it also creates the vortex. Whatever we're focus upon, when two or more people gathered, it has to manifest. So that is really true what the Christ says, 2 or more gathered. That's like that power of how do you say, collective conscious. the more people we come together for, like, you know, um, uh, like the universal, thing, what we want to create, the better world, whatnot.
Right.
It's just amplify it. The effects is amplified. That's what I love hosting, like the group events. I used to do weekly Reiki healing. I could have just seen one client at a time, but I love hosting the events. It's because we bring all the people, and everybody wants to feel better, get better, and that intention, that the will, is magnified.
I love how you said that, how like mutual intention for the better is just amplified power and energy.
Yes.
So, are you planning on hosting any events or new things right now?
Yes, I'm working on it. I literally just moved to Austin, so I'm still acclimating and, just setting myself up here, but I'm already in the talks with few people, planning for like the retreat, day retreat, and different events. Yes, and I also started the online community. I started like a membership community where people can educate themselves and connect with others, during their healing and transformational journey. It's called High Viber Earth Tribe.
I like that. So how can
Thank
people
you.
connect with that on social media?
Yes, and so I have Facebook page called High Viber, and that's the Facebook. And I don't have the Instagram yet, but if people want to connect with me on Instagram, it's AsiRiana Rasa. It's ASIRIANA Rasa. That's actually my artist name. So I know a lot of people recognize me as Naseem Murakami. It's my 3D name, I call it. But I'm kind of expanding into artist, music, and kind of channeling the higher source energy. So I kind of just expanding, in a process of expanding. So for me, I go by AsiRiana Asa as an artist in sound healing. So you can find me on IG and also Facebook page with that.